Google has been working with the community to make your device security more robust and yet respectful of platform freedom. That is not what I think. I am just loosely paraphrasing a post on the Android developers blog about Android developer verification. But instead of referencing this post that was clearly written by the marketing team, let's go to an Ars Technica article that talks about this. Google details new 24-hour process to sideload unverified Android apps. Now, I really don't like this word. I understand why it came about a few decades ago or a couple decades ago at this point. Sideloading is just installing an app on your device, but big tech has been using it to demonize the practice of installing an application outside of the official store on that device. So if you install an app outside of the Google Play Store on an Android device, you are sideloading an app. If you install an exe that you downloaded from the internet on a Windows machine outside of the Microsoft Store or whatever it's called at this point, you have sideloaded an app. I could keep ranting about this, but I'm not going to for now. Just know that if you sideload an app, you installed an app, stop using the word sideload to talk about installing applications. It's doing way more harm than good at this point. But Google's using that term, so we'll be using it in this video because that's just the way things are. With its new term limits on sideloading, Android phones will only install apps that come from verified developers. To verify developers releasing apps outside of Google Play will have to provide identification, passport, driver's license, upload a copy of their signing keys, and pay a $25 extortion fee. Apps that come from unverified developers won't be installable on Android phones unless you use the new advanced workflow, which will be buried in the developer settings. When sideloading apps today, Android phones alert the user to the unknown sources toggle in the settings, and there's a flow to help you turn it on. The new verification flow is different and will not be revealed to users. You have to know where it is and proactively turn it on yourself, and it's not a quick process. To understand the new process, let's go to this fancy diagram that Google provided. The first step, since they are protecting the protecting the users, is confirm you aren't being coached. You must select no one is instructing me. While power users may know how to vet apps, scammers often pressure victims into disabling protections. Restart your phone and re-authenticate. This cuts off any remote access or active phone calls a scammer might be using to watch what you are doing. Then starts the come back after a 24-hour wait and verify. This is a one-time, one-day wait, and then you can confirm that it is really you who's making this change on your device. Scammers rely on manufactured urgency, so this breaks their spell and gives you time to think. And the last step is then to enable the settings and you are ready to install apps. You can either turn on temporarily, which will be allowed for 7 days, or turn on indefinitely. I want to point out it says not recommended on this one. Once you confirm you understand the risks, you are all set to install unverified apps indefinitely. This entire process can't think of words to describe it without vulgar language. There's a couple dark patterns here besides the entire you must go into settings, go into dev, this and that, enable it 24 hours. They're already not recommending to turn it on indefinitely. It's only a matter of time before this option is gone and turning on temporarily or one time is the only choice you have. For now, it's 24-hour wait and verify. Who knows if it'll be a week next time, a month, 6 months. I do agree users need protection. That's why things are in place. But something like this is not about protecting the user. The FTC said that in 2023, Americans lost over $150 billion in 1 year to online scammers. Let me be clear, a $25 fee and some identification is not going to stop this. If that much money is on the line, these scammers will easily find a way around it, whether they're buying a pre-verified account, purchasing an existing app, publishing as that user. Doesn't really matter, they'll find a way. This is not about protecting users, this is about control. It's about telling you what you can and cannot install on your device and from where. GrapheneOS did make a post recently. GrapheneOS will remain usable by anyone around the world without requiring personal information, identification, or an account. GrapheneOS and our services will remain available internationally. If GrapheneOS devices can't be sold in a region due to the regulations, so be it. This last line is referencing some of the age gating they're trying to put on OSs, or California is putting on OSs later this year. which I'll probably talk about in a future video, but props to the GrapheneOS team for taking this stand. I know some people asked my thoughts on this. I really don't have any thoughts on it. It's terrible. There's not much more to say about it. Kind of just wanted to put it out there in case you weren't aware of it. On one hand, this will affect users on what they can and cannot install on their device. On the other, I think it's also going to stifle app development out there in the Android ecosystem. If there's a developer out there just contributing to the community, publishing their code and making a great app for users, are they going to pay a fee and identify themselves, or are they just going to discontinue development of that app? So that's all I got for today. The future does look bleak with some of these changes coming, but there are options, and all you need to do is be willing to embrace a little bit of discomfort.